Because we developed the plasma technology much more advanced. According to United Nations, Iranian nuclear physicists in plasma have been the top 15 leading, they've been for 15 years the top nation in that field. So why not? Because we don't understand, even the British don't understand. I work in nuclear industry in England. Why did we close all the gas power stations? Why there is more research now in England about how to shut down reactors than it was actually to develop them. So nuclear industry is a spectrum. We have to understand everything. It's not exclusive of nations. The nations who make countries like Iran axis of evil because they are producing nuclear technology, which we try to understand, is because they see competition. That's all it is. So Iran become axis of evil due to breaking into this cartel of processing, manufacturing, and assembling of the fuel. So Iran has every right, every other nation has every right, the way the Russians and the Chinese are doing.
Also, I gather that from your blogs, Iran is a world leader in isotopes in the medical industry in this respect.
Yes, we are. We haven't planned it. This, if you read my website, this happened by accident. This reactor was built for Iran during the Shah's regime as a prototype reactor, a university. Don't forget, we in Queen Mary College, when I was a student, we had our own reactor in the basement of the university. In Iran, it's the same thing. They took, when I finished in the university, they took the reactor to my land, and then it was too dangerous in my land in the center of London, then they dismantled it because it was too dangerous. It was in the basement of nuclear engineering department in the Queen Mary College. These are the same reactor which Iran has. It was put in there for beginning of teaching of nuclear physics during the Shah regime, and this reactor was used and has been used for prototyping. What happened about 4 or 5 years ago, when majority of the isotopes for medical reasons, purposes, was getting manufactured in Canada, the reactor ran into problem. They could not come up with the supply, so Iran took over the supply, the gap in the market. That's how Iran came into it with a reactor which was 3 years ago. So Iran produces isotopes from the systems which was built for us by the British and the Americans. And now, it's such a lucrative market that the Europeans are building a system in SCK in Belgium, financed by the German government, to cut into this market again. Because you cannot imagine how lucrative the isotope business is in medical. So, and that's the reason Iran, it just happened to be there by accident.
What is the creator, if there is one?
The creator is us, and we are part of it, and he is part of us. Because if you understand, I just explained, in the division of the neutron, then you understand it cannot be anything outside what is us. We are part of it, and it's part of us, because it comes through the division. It's not a physicality, because as you know, in the space technology, we are very advanced, and we have said it, and we confirm it, that we are not the only creatures of this universe. So the creation is a natural process in different forms, but from the beginning it comes that we are part of his creator.
So there are, in your view, definitely sentient beings on other...
No, don't ask my point of view. It's a fact.
Thank you. How many countries now have you given your USB stick, as you say? And
at the moment, there are 15, but there is a plan through the governments who have received it. Within the next 2 months, it will be at least double that. But the 15 nations which have received it cover 65% of the world population.
Wow.
As you know, on the 21st of April last year, we had the first ambassadorial presentation here in our center, where I'm talking to you from, and a number of ambassadors came. And after the 21st, I received a direct decree by His Excellency President Obama against my foundation for what we showed to the ambassador this technology is going to do. I wrote an open letter, email on my forum, as since the President of the United States made a gagging order for scientists. And as you know, it's well documented on our forum, on the 6th of November, on the American election day, after 3:45, when the American presidential office knew they won the election, they were about to win, we received a request from the American government ambassador that they would like to meet and have the access to the technology on the USB key. And we met with them on the 15th of December by the request of the American government. And we handed over the technology to the American government, and we know it was immediately transferred to NASA for further analysis. But something very interesting, NASA, I have communication, hard copy documents. We've been negotiating with NASA since 1985. The NASA always told me, that the boys at the top always told me, the problem we have, Mehran, is how we're going to write off 7,000 jobs in propulsion lab. This is the problem. Now the problem is the technology is under a few nations, and as you know, a few scientists around the world are duplicating through the patents. So the cat is out of the bag. We are out. It doesn't count by nations. As you know, certain nations have already shown the power of the technology. We work with a team of people who are devoted to serve humanity, and they made sure this thing goes through. So, you tell me about the peace treaty. I tell you one thing, it's you who have to make that peace with yourself, then you can do with the rest of it. And it's very simple. The peace treaty has already sit in the White House today. The peace treaty will be in the hand of His Excellency President Ahmadinejad tomorrow or this week. The peace treaty is and will be in the hand of His Eminence the Pope within a matter of days. As we said with our USB stick key, we give the knowledge to every nation. What they do with it is theirs, their responsibility. This peace treaty is the same. Sooner or later, it will happen. And the way we see it, there are a lot of moves. Don't forget, it's only 7 days old, this peace treaty, 8 days old. And there are moves, and I see in the communication with me, some nations are fighting who is going to hold the 21st of April peace treaty internationally. They say it doesn't matter if our leaders on the 21st of March don't sign, we will sign into it. What does it bring? This peace treaty has brought people who believe in science can change. The problem with Keshe Foundation is for the first time, with an organization like us, we are not talkers. Not only we talk about the peace, but we have the technology and the tool to enforce it. This is the beauty of what we do. When I came back from Iran with the invitation of His Excellency President Ahmadinejad to develop the Iranian spaceship program in 2008, when I announced that Iran has a full spaceship program on 2009, everybody laughed at me. They said the guy is crazy. Last year, the Iranian leaders, they said they have a spaceship program, and they've shown the power of it by capturing the American drone. I explained to the American officials when I handed the key to them, for the first time they understood how they lost their plane. Because you don't need to spend a single gram of fuel. It was a clean-cut capture, and that was it. That was the end of it. But what has it brought? Now, the most advanced space, military technologies has become obsolete. Are you going to pay 20, 30 million to buy an F-18, which can be dismantled from thousands of kilometers by a system which costs less than $100? No. So we've seen how the force, we saw the power of it, we still see it. They stopped us on 25th of November last year to show the technology in public. They came and they sealed and they confiscated everything from us. And the following Saturday, on the 3rd of December, we showed the reactors in public in Belgium for the first time. And I said, for what you did to us last week, blocking us to show, Iran will show the power of this technology very soon. On the 4th, the following day, the American plane was captured. And they said, oh, it's a lot of talk. But I'll give you the date. Go on the internet, 3rd of December, on the anniversary of us announcing how the power of this technology is going to be shown, a second plane was captured again. The dates are not coincidence. And as you understand, as I see, I've been told when I was interviewed last week, world leaders are saying who's going to start talking about the space program, the spaceship program, because governments have this technology. Up to now, they didn't know how to run it. Now they know how to run it. But the beauty of it is, this technology has been the cause of even talking peace. Please read not between the line, but the reality of what has happened. On 3rd of December, on the anniversary of our announcing the development of the spaceship program, you had a second capture. We gave the key of the space technology by the request of the American government, His Excellency President Obama, on the 15th of November to the Americans. On the 2nd of December, exactly 6 weeks ago, 2 weeks after we gave the key, an American private jet landed in Ahvaz airport, crashed, damaged. It was announced by the Iranians that the American plane was on the runway for 2 weeks and is getting repaired by the Americans. And they announced that the passengers of this American plane were immediately transferred to Dubai. And that day is exactly from the day when Mrs. Hillary Clinton disappeared from political view till last week due to hemorrhage. Peace talk has already started in a very deep way. It's just who's going to lose face. And the peace treaty we put out is don't let nobody lose face. We all talk because you already have started talking. Because the Americans realize that their most advanced technology, military technology, worth nothing anymore. If you see, you talk about the peace, we talk about exactly what this technology has brought. Since Yugoslavia war, we saw bombardments on the high altitude destroy as much as you can before you go and rob a nation. We saw it in Libya too. It hasn't happened in Syria because Iranian spaceship program is protecting the aerospace and it's shown in some videos you can see. So they has stopped the invasion, it has stopped the attack of what was expected of Israelis on Iran because the information is available, you can check yourself. This technology has already enforcing peace.